Is a professor of diplomatic studies at the University of Oxford, and he joins me now. Professor, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what you make of this deal.
Hello, and thank you very much for having me. I think this is an important development, and because it sends two types of signals. One is that there is some sort of relaxation between Iran and Saudi Arabia, the two arch rivals in the region. And I think this is in principle good news for the region. It remains to be seen to what extent this kind of relaxation is enduring. And also, we have to wait for the reaction from the other two great powers, which haven't said anything so far. I'm referring to Israel and, of course, Turkey. But I think the second signal is even more important because this relaxation of tensions, or diplomatic tension, has been achieved under the mediation of China. We have to remember that President Xi visited Riyadh in December, and that was followed by a visit of the leader of Iran in February to Beijing. So China has long-term plans of inserting itself in the security arrangements of the region, partly because 40% of its energy supplies, come from the region, and it wants a stable region, but also because it wants to display this kind of long-term geopolitical influence game against the United States in the same part. So this is an important development. The challenge for China will be how to insert itself as a mediator in the region without getting entangled, as previous powers have done, in the conflict in the region. This is a fine line. But so far, I think it looks like China is playing this kind of long game of becoming a mediator, and also someone who has tried to do some. Russia is being sidelined as well.
Right.
So
I do want to ask you more about the significance of China being the one to broker this deal and not the U.S. Obviously, as you said, a sign of China's growing influence in the Middle East. But is it also a sign of the U.S. stepping back from the Middle East?
I think it's both. In a sense, we know that the United States wanted under Obama to pivot away from the Middle East to the Pacific. But there was something else that changed in 2009, and that was the Arab Spring and the signal that the position of the United States sent at that time that, this kind of monarchies, the countries in the region cannot rely on the United States without any conditions. China interjected itself in this situation by promising exactly that we are not going to interfere in the domestic affairs, and that message resonated with a number of countries. But at the same time, we have to recognize that these powers in the Gulf also, they find the competition between the United States and China useful. Saudi Arabia, for instance, is now in the process of trying to normalize relations with Israel. So by playing both on the relationship with the United States, but also with China, it finds itself in a better position of not being completely dependent on both sides.
Professor, I'd also like to ask you, if I can just interrupt real quickly, what do you think that this could mean as far as impact on regional peace? Do you see this as a positive step?
What I said at the beginning, it remains to be seen to what extent this is an enduring status, for the between Saudi Arabia and Iran. But that was something that was desired, including by Turkey, a relaxation of the relationship between Iran and Saudi Arabia, because stability in the region is important. The critical factor here is the nuclear program of Iran, whether it will go ahead, because we know that the uranium enrichment has reached a threshold, almost close to 90%. And if they move above that threshold, there's going to be a strong reaction from Israel, also from the United States. President Biden promised that there is a red line, no nuclear weapons in the case of Iran. So that, I think, it's a variable that remains to be seen. But in terms of the stability of the region, the fact that China is interjecting itself in this game, I think this is also a signal sent to the United States that they have to step up their diplomatic game in the region.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Professor Corneliu Bjola joining us from Oxford University. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.